All right, hey, welcome to the Fourth Media live stream. I'm here with Nathaniel Shannon. Tell me something. You have a lot of songs that deal with murder. Is this something that you have done in the past? I mean, it's just me and you here, so you can kind of come clean on whatever you need to come clean with.
My dad was a cop. His influence was just like kind of being a police officer, and I think it exposed me to the underbelly of society. Also growing up, so I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, where there was a handful of pretty major true crime, like the John Norman Collins serial killings. That, just kind of that being like this like cloud that kind of never left Ypsilanti, like after the late 60s. It's always kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah.
As a narrative. Oh. I love the idea of metal and metal themes and death and religion and destruction and depravity. But it's not music I've ever had an interest in playing, and I like the juxtaposition of like writing kind of mellow, creepy music with these ideas of like true crime and examination of self and religion and relationships. You know,
it's certainly creepy, and the songs have like a story to them. You know, it's not, you're not just singing verse, chorus, verse. You're very much taking the listener through kind of almost like a true crime set. Exactly.
Yeah,
that.
I think I also don't know how to write like a pop song format.
So the name of the project is Nathaniel Shannon and the Vanishing Twin. Who is the Vanishing Twin? Where did they go? What do they do?
I was thinking one day about how when I was a kid, my parents would always tell me that I had a brother, but they were poor, so we ate him, because that's just the sense of humor in our family.
I can now tell where the influence for the...
Well, like with all of these songs, they're all very dark, but they're all really, really sarcastic. And I was just reading something on the internet about medical anomalies, especially with birth and, you know, the vanishing twin syndrome of one baby absorbing another baby in utero. It sounds creepy. I think it's kind of a funny name, and it's also just like a fascinating phenomenon that happens more frequently than people actually know.
The album is out on Aqualam Records?
Yes.
How did that come about? How did you get a hold of those guys?
Eric at some point came across some recordings I had made, and he's like, dude, we gotta put these out. And he really pushed me, he and Jonathan really pushed me, and it took about a year for them to talk me into actually doing a record. And I was pretty much done with the record, went to California, had the record on a hard drive, and hadn't backed up about the last month of recording, and left it on a plane under the influence of a bad attitude from a long travel day in my urge to get off the plane, and got home and realized I had left like the last month of recording. So I kind of flipped the fuck out and like just abandoned the whole thing. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they were like, all right, we'll just take some time, come back to it. So recorded the rest of it, and I had been talking with Steve Austin from Today Is the Day about some photo work I was doing with them, and he was in town, and you know, I just approached him and was like, hey, I got these weird songs, can I send them to you and get some feedback? And he called me a couple days later and was like, hey man, this shit's weird. Really freaked my wife out. And I was like, well, if your wife is creeped out by my music, and you know, coming from you, like, I'll take that as a pretty massive compliment. Right. So he ended up mixing and mastering the record for me, which is a really cool experience working with him on that.
And you're a photographer as well.
I am a photographer as well.
You do mostly band stuff, or?
I've been shooting bands for almost 20 years. Editorial, social commentary.
You did a book called Street Dicks.
Street Dicks.
What's Street Dicks all about?
Street Dicks was born out of my frustration of people walking down the mean streets of Manhattan, walking into me on their phones. And a good friend of mine, Devin Yelkin, fantastic street photographer, he'd kind of been encouraging me to shoot more street stuff, which I just have never really found an interest, or had an interest in that. And I had my camera around my neck, and this kid just walks right into me with his phone in front of his face, and we exchanged some words, and I very kindly informed him that he needed to get out of my face before I threw him in the street. And I had hit the shutter on my camera like right before he walked into me, and I got this great picture of like this kid like about to walk into me. So the rest of my walk to the East Village from Midtown, I just started taking pictures of people on their phones.
Have you been a street dick yourself?
Yeah, at some point, you know. When I started shooting that, I had to take a deep look at myself.
So, musician, photographer, you also have started a clothing line.
I've got my clothing line.
High-end fashion.
Super high-end fashion.
What's this all about? Where'd that come from?
I just hate Ja Rule. I've always hated him.
Right.
He's the shittiest thing to ever happen to hip-hop. Not trying to jump on a bandwagon. But I also am realizing an opportunity of his newfound fame as a public douchebag.
Yeah, public
to capitalize.
Yeah.
Fuck Ja Rule, because that guy sucks.
Right.
He's always sucked. You just probably weren't paying attention to how bad he sucked before.
He has now just ascended.
He's ascended
to the mainstream of being a shithead.
So obviously the Fire Festival stuff is hilarious. And
was it a vindication for you? Were you like, I knew this guy was a dickhead the whole fucking time?
I think what's really fascinating outside of like, okay, it's hilarious to watch rich white kids get fucked over. It was one of the first recent modern snafus on the internet that was completely real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that everybody had social media and was like updating the world as to what was going on.
Right.
Which is fascinating to like watch, you know, a real-time event unfold just based on people that are experiencing that thing, you know. But yeah, fuck Ja Rule. So I made these shirts because that guy sucks.
And you can buy them? You can buy them
if you go to fuckjarule.com, because fuck Ja Rule.
Any new music coming out? Any upcoming projects?
Yeah, I've got an EP I've been working on for a minute. Which is a concept record about the Argento Three Mothers series of films.
Okay.
So it's kind of my soundtrack to Suspiria, Inferno, and Mother of Tears. I just really wanted live drums on them, so I enlisted the help of Mr. Fred Etzby. Then I have about another album's worth of songs demoed, which maybe this summer or into the fall, probably this fall, get with Godmaker and write a little bit with them. I think we'll just take what I'm doing to a much more complex, heavier, I don't know, it just sound a lot better.
Right. Well, stay tuned. We got the show coming up next. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Fuck Ja Rule.
Alright, everybody. Rock and roll time. So sick.
Without the care of the people.
kindly. I am Nathaniel Shannon. This is the Vanishing Twin, aka Godmaker, the baby angel straight out of Brooklyn, New York. I can't smell you guys enough, so come closer. Let me feel your love. So who woke up in a stranger's bed today? Nobody? The song's about you being strange. That felt real nice. That felt real nice, you know. Sometimes I see the creatures mingling. I see them moving and shaking. And all I can say is, I just can't keep my hands to myself. No matter how I try. Just want you all to myself. You metaphysical chilling angels. So come on and give me a taste of what it's like to be next. Just one white drop on the wind. You metaphysical chilling you're no good. To myself. My hands to myself. My hands to myself. My hands to myself. Taking my hands to myself. My hands to myself. Taking my hands to myself. Things are gonna change. Things are gonna change. This next one's a little titty about love, getting your dick sucked by a vampire. The child in the wild. so much for coming out on this Thursday to Pet Shop. Thanks for having us. Black Whales coming up after this little jam.